All right. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at crude oil from the longer time frames and then drill on down and look for something more actionable. Here we go. Let's dive into the chart. All right. So here we are looking at the weekly chart. And this week I'm doing something a little different. I'm looking at the weekly chart through the lens of Elliott wave. And this thing is moving in threes, these big old moves, moving in threes. Is the internal structure also moves heavily in threes, making it really great for scalping, not as great for swing trading. In any case, I think what's happening now is after this initial 1-2 of a C wave, let me back up a step. A, B, C, and the A wave, in this case, composed by three waves. The B wave, who knows how many waves are composed by. This B wave is complex. Um, And then the C wave made up of three waves, but a C wave can have a diagonal inside of it. And that appears to be what's happening because of the substructure. What that means is we will continue to move in threes. So for example, this wave two having bottomed, and now we have five waves up in as an A wave, right in, by the way, right into this zone that's been on there for a long time. It's getting some rejection. So the way we'll drill down a little bit on the lower time frames, but generally the way I'm thinking about it right now is that this could be expected to be an ABC for wave three of C, and you get a wave four, and then you get a final shove up. And the whole structure, if A equals C, this is LA wave terminology, you're going to get up to at least 98.24, at least at a minimum, and it could extend up into these other fibs. But one thing at a time. I'm a day trade scalper, so I'm only showing these kind of views or the higher time frames for context as we drill on down. Okay, so let's hop down to the daily chart. Now you can see a little bit more detail of this LA wave action. This being the ABC up, and then now we've got another ABC down, which I'm counting as AB, and then a five wave move complete with a wave four triangle right in the middle, which we caught. And then now, having bottomed, this is measuring well as a five wave move up. I'm calling it an A wave. So let's keep drilling on down. This is the 4 hour. Now you can see a little more specifically the structure of that five wave move off the lows, which came after this wave four triangle. You got down here called support very nicely for a five wave move because wave five should be composed of five waves, which it is. And then now we had a five wave move really to perfection right up into this target box. So now is where it gets interesting because I was looking for this box, as most of you know who are following me for a while now, like a couple of weeks. And we got in it, and look at the reaction we had on Friday afternoon. I mean, bam, this thing really gave it back. And so now I got to drill down on the lower time frames and take a look at what might be happening. So these are the two types of corrections that would be the least deep. And the first one here in red is that this, if it gets five waves down, it could very well be an A wave. If after that five waves, we'll look, if it does finish this five wave structure down somewhere in here, the 382 is a typical target for an A wave. Yeah. So this is a little bit complicated because I have alternate counts on my chart. Several. I'm really thinking of three counts all at the same time. So without getting making this video too long and getting into the weeds, as they say, I'm going to keep it really simple. I'm looking for an A wave, and whatever you call it, whether it's an A wave or not, after five waves down, it should bounce. And it's the structure of that bounce. How does it measure? Where does it project to? What is the shape of the waveform? That is what's going to inform how we perceive what might happen next. So right now, my view is very clear. Will it follow my view? Who knows? I have one more target to come down here. We're going to get to that next. So the idea is A, B, C. If this is a wave two, and Why would this be a wave 2? Well, because maybe this 3 is really an A wave, because you could count this as 5 up to there, this whole thing, which would make sense as an A wave. So if that's an A wave, this is a shallow B wave, and which counts as such if that's what it turns out to be. Well, how would we know that? Well, we'll know if this is really an AB, because this is wave 1, 2 of the C that goes with this AB. So in other words, if this is a shallow correction, expect it to be a 3-wave move and not get too much below this zone right here. And it'll be constructed of 3 waves. If this thing breaks this structure that I'm talking about at all to the downside, then the next idea would be it's some kind of a B wave. And this whole thing really is a 5-wave A wave, and then a 3-legged, or sorry, not a 3-legged, but a B wave that'll come deeper than anything that would be considered a wave 2 in blue. It would be a B wave in white. And then there is actually a third scenario, which is this comes even deeper for a larger degree wave 2. Still, this would count as 5 up, and then you get a deeper corrective action for a wave 2 of the larger degree. So I know I'm saying a lot, but being a day trade scalper, um, let's just temporarily forget all the stuff I just said, because for a day trade scalper, this is the chart that I'm really looking at. This is a 5-minute chart, but I'm viewing this chart in the context of everything else we just covered. So to me, this is 3 down right into the 1618, which makes perfect sense. And look at the reaction we had. It is possible that that was all of wave 4. It measures as such. Where it is in the structure, this has the right look to my eyes for a potential 5 waves down. So you need one more shove down. I think based on these other fibs, now I'm using my buddy Armando in Miami. I'm using his fibs in conjunction with Elliott Wave. So there is a fib down here, 1786 of this structure. So that lines up well with a potential target for a wave 5. And there's also, I just forgot I had put this ratio box, which is also down here for this 5-wave move, meaning the ratio between 1 through 3 versus 5. This is the box for that. So there's some confluence right here for a wave 5. And based on this structure, I like it. Now, does that mean it's going to happen? Of course not. Anything can happen. This is 3 down. This is 3 down with a bounce for potential wave 4. So I'll be looking for a 5th wave down. And if that occurs, I will be looking for a bounce. And then, as I was just saying, I will be looking to track the structure of whatever the bounce is and wherever it starts happening from. I'll be measuring for that and projecting to try to decide what is going on with this bounce. Is it a B wave bounce or what? But in any case, I am currently short a runner. So I'm just leaving that alone into the open and overnight, unless it comes back out and stops me out. But I'm looking for a 5th wave lower. And then, just to get ahead of myself a little bit, let's say this does play out. At some point when it reverses, I'll be looking to get some long scalps from down here. All right, so that's what I got. And anything can happen in markets. You know that, right? We're in a non-linear, complex environment with all sorts of. It's just like a, a giant probability machine is what the market is, and nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody. So all we can do is use parameters. So that's what I try to do in my trading, and I keep it simple. Try to grab 20 to 80 pips. Hey, look, a 20 to 80 pips a day. If you're watching this and you're struggling with psychology, I cannot recommend Armando. He goes by the Professor Trades. Cannot recommend him highly enough. The link to his site is in the description of this video. It's unbelievably well priced. It's very advantageous prices for anybody, especially at the lower level, beginner level, or anybody who's been trading for a while and you're struggling with the psychology, market psychology. And really what that is it's your psychology. So if you want to learn in a group environment with a bunch of like-minded folks with Armando leading the way, I cannot overstate the value of joining his club. So having said that, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And whatever you do, don't lose your behind on a day that ends in the letter Y. Okay. All right. Thanks for tuning in. By the way, if you're getting value out of this, I sure would appreciate it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, because during the week I do update these charts as price develops along. So if you want to, if you're in a trade with oil, silver, those are the two prominent ones. Although I track gold, I track Nasdaq, a little bit of S&P. But if you're in any of those and you want to get updates during the week, just subscribe and you'll see the notification. All right. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.